Hi everyone! In our last lesson, we learned the symbol of percent. Let's remember what we learned. There is a 10 by 10 square, and so it has 100 squares. 25 squares are colored, so the representation of the colored squares as a fraction is 25 hundredths. We said that percent includes two words, per and cent. Per means every and cent means 100, because it comes from the word century. So, 25 hundredths is the same thing as 25%. Percent is shown this symbol. In this video, we will learn the relationship between fractions, decimals, and percentages. There are some examples of fractions, decimals, and percentages in our daily lives. If we know the relationship between them, our lives become easier. Laura starts to think about how she can represent half cup of tea as a fraction, decimal, and percentage. Can we represent it? Let's try. There are 10 by 10 squares again. 50 squares are colored, so the fraction for the colored part is 50 hundredths. The denominator is 100, so 50 hundredths is same as 50%. If we simplify the fraction with 50, we have a half. So, they are same things. For 50%, we divide the whole into 100 parts and color 50 parts. A half means that we divide the whole into 2 parts and color 1 part. As you can see, realize that the colored part and the whole don't change in this model. 50% is same as a half for a whole. If we simplify the fraction with 10, we have 5 tenths. The decimal notation is 5 tenths. So, they are same things. When we divide the whole into 10 parts and color 5 parts, as you can see here, the whole and the colored parts don't change in this model. So, we can represent the colored parts as 5 tenths and 50%. So, we can represent half cup of tea as a half, 5 tenths, and 50%. Fractions, decimals, and percentages are different ways of expressing parts of a whole. We can convert between fractions, decimals, and percentages. There is a whole. The whole is divided by 20 parts, and 8 parts are red. The fraction for red parts of the shape is 8/20, and the decimal is 4/10. We said that fractions, decimals, and percentages are different ways of expressing parts of a whole. Here, there is the same whole. The whole is divided by 100 parts and 40 parts are red. The fraction for red parts of the whole is 40 hundredths, and it is the same thing as 40%. You can see that the red parts are same and the whole is same. So, we can represent the red parts of the whole as 8/20, 4/10, and 40%. If there are 15 red parts, the fraction for red parts of the whole is 15/20, and the decimal is 75 hundredths, and it is 75%. The red part is same and the whole is same. We can create another whole The whole is divided by 15 parts and 3 parts are red. The fraction for red parts of the whole is 3/15 and the decimal is 2/10. Here, the whole is divided by 100 parts and 20 parts are red. So, the fraction for red parts of the whole is 20 hundredths and it is 20%. We can express parts of a whole as a fraction, decimal and percent. There are 5 apples which are red and green. What fraction of the apples in the set model are green? Yes, 2/5. This set model shows that 2/5 of the apples are green. If we expand the fraction with 20, we have 40 hundredths. The decimal notation is 40 hundredths and it can be shown as 40%. We can say that this set model shows that 40% of the apples are green. Mert eats 25% of a pizza. How do we show the piece that Mert eats as fraction and decimal? The whole is the pizza and we will express a part of the whole as decimal and fraction. 25% is 25 hundredths and the decimal is 25 hundredths. Also, we simplify the fraction with 25 and it is 1/4. We can say that Mert eats 1/4 of the pizza and also Mert eats 25 hundredths of the pizza. Let's convert the percentage to decimals. 15% is 15 hundredths and the decimal is 15 hundredths. 48% is 48 hundredths and the decimal is 48 hundredths. 30% is 30 hundredths and the decimal is 30 hundredths, and we know that it is the same thing as 3/10. 5% is 5 hundredths and the decimal is 5 hundredths. Let's convert the fractions and decimals to percentage. 9/10. If we expand the fraction with 10, we have 90 hundredths and it is the same as 90%. 4/5. If we expand the fraction with 20, we have 80 hundredths and it is the same as 8%. 48 hundredths. We can write the decimal as a fraction 48 hundredths and it is the same as 48%. 4 hundredths. Also we can write the decimal as a fraction 4 hundredths and it is the same as 4%. Let's summarize what we learned in this video. We learned to convert between fractions, decimals and percentages. And also, we learned to express parts of a whole as a fraction, decimal and percentage. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.